If you want to see me create another look with the Stila Happy Hour, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to play with this palette from Stila. It was the palette that was included in the Roulette number 9, the last one of 2019, taking us into 2020. And I had a regret. And that was that I only did one look with this palette. And the reason I did only one look, which I don't think that I fully explained on camera, was because of how blingy this palette is. It has, I explained it a little bit, but not a whole lot. So it's got 4 mattes at the top here, which are extremely usable, daytime-friendly mattes. There's no question there. And there are a couple of other very usable shadows. Sorry, it's very blingy. You can definitely use these two kind of bluish and gray shadows. They're not super sparkly. And there's also this gold down here with my chip nail. There's also this gold down here that is also quite usable. But when you get into these two and these two, it is very sparkly. Actually, I missed one. So these 3 and these 2 are extremely glittery. If you take a look at the first video I created, which I will link right here, and I will also link the swatches, you will see how glittery the shadows are when I pick the glitter shadow. In the first look, I ended up using Tiki Bar, and I did not think it was going to be as blingy as it was. It's very blingy. Take a shot every time I say blingy. Anyway, I am wanting to do another look here today. And I think I'm going to be using I'm debating between using these 2 and these 2. And I'm just looking at it here to make it a choice, final decision here. I think I'm going to end up using this one right here and this one. Inner to center lid, or 2/3 of the lid, and then outer lid. And then just using the mattes that correspond to those couple of eyeshadows. I want to do a glitter look because glitter is half the palette. So if you're not going to feel like the look I'm showing is something that you can do regularly, or if you know that this palette is going to be just a special occasion palette, that can work. I don't want to recommend this palette as an everyday palette for the simple reason that unless you do striking eyeshadow looks regularly, you will be limited to half the palette. I've said the same idea 3 times now, I think, in different ways. So I'm just going to get into makeup application at this point. To let you know what is on my eyes, I have used the Urban Decay Sin on the inner to center lid, Aqua XL from Makeup Forever in M56 on the outer lid, and I set the whole thing with Hoola Light, which is a light bronzer from Benefit, and for me, for my skin tone, it works great to set my primer. I discovered this by accident as I was trying to do a little bit of panning on Hoola Light, and I've liked it ever since, so that's what I'm doing. And it is the Hoola Light from the Complexionista palette, which I understand sometimes Benefit bronzers and blushes are not the same in palettes as they are individually. So I'll just make that comment. For anything else on my face, you can see in the description box what I've done as far as a starting point. And I think I've talked enough. I'm stalling. Let's get into makeup application. I'm going to go in with my BH Cosmetics brush. It's the fluffiest crease brush I have. And I'm going to go into this color right here, just to establish a base of Stila shadows. And these mattes are extremely buttery. They're very comfortable. My eyelids are telling me no more powder. We're right in the throes of winter right now here in my city, and the eyelids are showing that they want moisture because there's just no moisture in the air. We have a what do you call it? Humidifier working 24/7 in the house to just try to keep some humidity going. And it doesn't help to have a fireplace because that just draws humidity out of the house. Okay, I have the base done as far as that first eyeshadow, and I'm going to go in with this one next on the inner to center lid just before I put the glitter on. And for that purpose, because I'm not going to be super fancy or precise, I'm going to use my angled brush and just go in on both sides. I've got product on my brush and just put a little bit of purple there. I'm liking that very much. I think I'm going to go into the crease with that as well. Yeah, I really like it. I'm going to go in the crease with a different brush. I'm going to go in with this crease brush and pick up more of that purple. Whew. I keep forgetting how powdery it is when you pick up with a crease brush. Oh yeah, look at that. I remember really liking the mattes in the first look, and there's a reason. They're really pretty. Just picking up the kick up from the first time, and off I go on the other side. I don't mind powdery mattes. They mean usually that they're going to blend like a dream, so I have no problem with the powdery matte. Okay, I really like that. I'm just going to go, what am I going to do here? I think I put the purple up, mauve, whatever you want to call it, up high enough that I can go in with my angled brush and just put some on the lower lash line on the outer lid. I think there's going to be enough continuity that that's not going to look funny. Says the person who will use a completely different color on the lower lashes, meaning lower lash line, like a liner or something. All right, we have the base look, and as anyone could see, that is a very easy eye look base to make. And what I mean is the base look on which we're going to apply glitter. And as I mentioned, I'm going to go in with this one and this one. And I'm going to start with the outer lid for the simple reason that I want to use the pinkish purple and overlap the outer lid. So outer lid first is the best idea. And I am using my finger to do that. I understand it's cringy for people, but glitter does apply better. Oh, you know what? I should have put a glitter glue. I really should have. Yeah, I'm making a big mess. Big mess. I have a mess on my hands. I'm going to clean it up, put glitter glue on, do it properly, and be right back. Okay, I am back, and I now have a brain, and I'm applying glitter properly. So I have the e.l.f. glitter glue. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I think it's called glitter primer. And I'm just putting a little bit. Now this product is very tacky and works pretty well. So I'm hoping that it does a good job. So I'm just splitting it between my fingers here, and we'll apply it on the eyelid. And I do have to reapply that kind of mauve-y shadow onto my lower lash line because I had to redo my makeup, my concealer under my eye. It got all messed up by cleaning off the glitter. Glitter's great, but you have to do a little bit of planning, and somehow, like I said, I lost my head this morning. Okay, so now my eyelids are nice and tacky. I am just going to go back into that mauve and do my lower lash line again. Didn't really have to do that side, but habit. What am I doing? I have a mirror right here. So if I have to duck and look at the mirror under the camera, I have a mirror right in the palette. I'm sure you can tell I'm totally annoyed with myself. Okay, and I knew which palette I was using today, right? I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, as I said, I'm going to do the outer lid first with something now that is going to capture it and prevent it from going anywhere, all over the place. I even have glitter all the way into my inner lid. I'm just... Okay, other side. Okay, let's make sure they match. Okay, so we have the outer to center lid done, and now I'm going to go in with my pinky into, so what was this? This was Top Shelf, and I'm going to go in now with this one, which is Cosmo, and I think I'm going to use, no. First off, I'm going to use my multitasker brush from Smashbox and go into the glitter to do the inner lid first. Both sides. And now with my pinky, I'm just going to finish up. I still have primer on my hand. And we're just going to overlap the two glitters a little bit. I still feel the tackiness, that's good. And other side. Again, I still feel the tackiness, that's good. Okay. There we go. Just going to wipe my fingers because they're all full of glitter. I have some fallout on this side, not really on that side. I'm just going to take a brush that helps me take glitter off my face, and let's see if I can manage to do that. Yep, for the most part, I have been successful. That's really good. So a big fluffy brush is helpful to do that. Now I'm going to go in and do the brow bone with this eyeshadow right here. Just a little bit. And on the other side, just picking up the kick up. Okay, now what I want to do is put on some liner, some mascara, and some setting spray, and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. I just want to mention before I forget that On my lower lash line, just underneath my lower lid, I did add more of that matte mauve because when I put on Psychedelic Sister, it just looked like I didn't have enough color coming down. So I added a little bit and went further in. That's the only eyeshadow change I made. But again, I just wanted to mention it. So I put Psychedelic Sister on my lower lash line, and I was quite generous. And I was quite generous because this is a BAM look, and I wanted to balance out the overall eye. Then I also added or reapplied the Urban Decay Zero on my upper waterline. It just makes your lashes look thicker, more voluminous. It does such a nice effect. I almost use it every day. And I also used the Stila. Now this is a mini, and it's called Stila Stay All Day, I think. Yeah, Stay All Day Waterproof. And I thought it merited a wing. I mean, a look like this, to me, a wing is not extra. I think it looks pretty good. And again, it does make it look like you have more lashes. It's more glam. And for lashes, I did use the Lancôme Hypnose mascara, which is a volumizing mascara. So I zhuzhed it up quite a bit, despite the fact that it's Friday, I'm at home and I'm in casual wear, but I'm gonna have beautiful eyes all day. So that is pretty much what I used, and you can see the Stila, the Urban Decay Zero, and then the Psychedelic Sister, which I think you can see how it would look really good with that glitter that I chose for the inner to center lid, actually 2/3 of the lid. So this is the final look for my second look on camera with the Stila Happy Hour. And I think, Happy Hour says it, right? Yes, it's names of drinks, but the whole thing with Happy Hour is that it is kind of a celebration palette, more zhuzhed up looks. So let's just talk about the palette one more time. I think it is beautiful. If you are looking for wearable looks, I'm going to say that this is your palette. If you think, so you would be buying an 8-pan palette. If you think you're going to use these glitter colors, then you can consider that you would have a 12-pan palette. I think it's important to really look at the palette and to swatch it if you can in store to make sure that the glitters are something that you can see yourself wearing. You saw my accident before continuing my eye look, and I still have some glitter down here from the omission of a primer. A primer, I would say, is absolutely necessary, and if you're going to use a brush, you are going to have considerable fallout. I don't see how it is possible not to. Possibly a silicone applicator. I have done a video on using a silicone applicator for tougher shadows that usually require a finger, and I will put that right there for you. That might be something that you want to consider if you don't like using brushes, but I think, or don't like using fingers, that is. I think that brushes for those 4 that I covered up, and this one as well, by the way, because it's pretty chunky glitter, I think that that would be a challenge. Do I think that the look is beautiful? Absolutely. I think it's gorgeous. I will sport it all day proudly. I just, flat out, I would call this palette gorgeous. It is a gorgeous palette, and I'm a warm tone person, and I have dreamt looks with this palette over and over and over again. That is definitely not a problem. The mattes are beautiful. The glitters are absolutely beautiful, but they are glitters. And the one shadow that I have a concern about is this one, and I keep checking it for hard pan because it's acting like it's turning hard pan. So it's a very unusual type shadow, and it takes a lot to build it up. So out of all of them, I only have concern over the one shadow, which is Highball. And then the other ones, they do behave like I would expect them to. And the couple of shimmers that are in here, this one and that one, they're absolutely gorgeous. So really going back to it, it's the five glitters. You need to be a glitter person, flat out. And if you think that using glitters once or twice a year, just having glitters, if you don't have them in your collection, that makes perfect sense too. Like, I mean, we all buy palettes for different reasons. I just wanted to, I have a dog hair on the palette now. A very furry dog, and I find dog hair everywhere. Anyway, coming back to the palette. We all buy palettes for different reasons, and I just wanted to be clear about the pluses and minuses of this palette. I think it's $68 or something like that for 12 eyeshadows. And I think it's important to get a chance to really see it in person if you can. And it's a question of how it would fit in your overall makeup preferences and makeup preferences for colors and makeup preferences for application type. At this point, I'm rambling on. I just wanted to get back on camera and finish what I felt I didn't address properly in the How Was It video. Yeah, I know that we do these palette roulettes when the palettes are still available in the store, that might be an incentive to get a palette or not, you know, depending on what I'm saying. And having only done one look with a relatively new palette, I think was a mistake. And so hopefully this takes care of it. I hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of the Stila Happy Hour. Have you thought about getting it? Do you have it? If you do, what do you think of it? I think it would be nice for all of us to hear different thoughts and opinions. And with that, I'll say thank you for making it this far and listening to my ramblings. I appreciate you very much, and I do look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.